I swear to God.
It's good.
Quite agree. Oh, no. Ladies and gentlemen, we're having technical difficulties right now. Twitter is not working. Oh, boy. We are live. Great. All right, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Sunny Days at the Racetrack. A little bit of a different layout this time. As you see, I have this handsome gentleman right in front of me.
Welcomed over.
Yes, he was welcomed over. I couldn't keep him out. Yeah. So we are here, and we're going to run it today at the house.
Yeah.
Just see what happens.
Yeah, it should be good. It's a good setup. We're good.
All right. So preseason is in the works now.
4 games
And
in.
yeah, so we got 2 left, and Wah has made different changes. We had different looks at other players, and right now we've seen, I guess maybe in my mind, a handful of standouts.
Yeah.
To me, I think really a lot of the youth is coming to play, and they're really trying to make this team. I mean, everybody's coming in to make this team, but like it has few people like Foudy, in my mind, has really elevated his game. You can see that the guy's got some raw natural talent, great speed, great hands. And then you get a guy like Bolduc, who we've talked about before, where defensively he'll get lax, poor judgment, looking very green. But I mean, he just looks pretty smooth on the ice, and lots of offensive talent, as he's always had. But will that continue to translate once the season starts? Will he still be smart defensively as well as creating those chances on the offense? And to me, they were looking for the 13th forward, 7th defenseman. I'm thinking it's going to be those 2. I know you are liking Gauthier, which I like Gauthier also.
That's a good thing about preseason, man. You get to see all these young guys get called up. And they play majority of the games. I mean, especially like my favorite's the goalie situation. Like with the switching that Wah's doing. I'm a big fan of that. Having Varley play a little bit, get some let's get some looks in, and then seeing Hogberg play, and then it's cool. Then you just see our minor league guys play. We hear all about them on Twitter or on Facebook, Instagram. We see like their big games in Bridgeport or Worcester or wherever it may be. But now you're seeing them play against big leaguers, and it's pretty exciting, man. Especially they're young and their prospects. It's exciting, and it's cool. During this season, you might see a call of like we had Ishkakov last year. I think Dufour and Bolduc played a couple games with us. Yeah, but now you're seeing like pretty much all of Bridgeport, like the major guys on Bridgeport, they're playing the whole game, and they're working with JPG, and they're working with our lines, and it's fun. It's interesting. It makes preseason worth to watch. Yeah, like maybe the wins don't count, the losses or whatever, but it's fun to watch, and that's what I really like about preseason. There's a different excitement, man. Like definitely different. McLean, even though he obviously going to make it, and he wasn't. He's definitely on, but his tempo is up there, and him, and then Gaudier's fighting for it because he got placed on waivers last year. He almost was traded. He didn't get picked up, but seeing him fight for it, and with Tispakov, that goal that they had, I think it was against the Devils, maybe. I'm not.
Yeah, it was against the Devils.
That was awesome, man. It's definitely exciting, man. It's definitely good to see these guys back. So I'm excited.
It's good to see some new faces and some familiar faces, whether or not they've been familiar for the actual Islanders. But like you said, being on Bridgeport for such a long time, it's good to see them get a shot. Obviously, we love Maggio and Dufour.
Yeah, Maggio. Yep.
But the cuts have already kind of come in now, and we saw that they did not make it, which it's fine. I mean, there's a lot of guys in there that are trying to make this team. It's hard to make decisions like this. I know Wah has
it's a big year for him too. Yeah, his first full year.
So and he did say that the next 2 preseason games are going to probably be the closest he's going to have to what the team is going to look like starting the season, which makes it interesting now because we have to kind of figure out what's going on goalie wise, because the big elephant in the room, as we all know, is Sorokin surgery. How serious is it?
Lou, they're kind of kept in the dark right now.
Exactly. Lou is like that. He's very much, as we all know, secretive. He doesn't like to give out any information. With injuries, it's fucking frustrating. I mean, I like when teams are transparent and not saying it's an upper body, lower body injury. It's like upper body could be anything. You know what I mean? Same thing with lower body. So
that was last year, I think, Sorokin had an upper body.
Yeah, them just saying that, and now it's like, all right, well, Wah comes at the golf outing and they says that he had back surgery. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. That's a lot different than a upper body injury. I mean, back surgery can be major, So at this point, has that affected him from the end of last season going into playoffs? Is that why his performance has dipped? Was his back not 100%, but it's playoff time? You got to fucking push it. Who knows? When you're making a run for the playoffs, you're kind of putting all injuries aside. Yeah, exactly. So, but now that you've had surgery, you're going to have to nurse this, I think.
I mean, we're kind of lucky, though. I mean, he can nurse it for a little because you could put Varley's good enough. I'm not worried about having Varley in, especially to start the season. Work some kinks out. And then I guess what you do, just put up Hogberg as your backup.
Yeah, I mean, he looked good against Philly. It is preseason. Tikkanen, I mean, we did leave him out to dry a lot against the Rangers. That was an awful display of a third period.
He played. I looked it up. He played like 38 games in the ECHL last year. Like he's not getting like NHL looks at all.
No.
Like, this is like his first.
Yeah, I mean, his thing is he's a massive individual.
You remember Anders Nilsson? Remember?
Yeah, Anders Nilsson. To me, Mikko Koskinen was huge too.
The big guys.
So, I mean, you look at him that way and you're like, this is a large individual. He can cover majority of the net by not doing much.
24, I think.
So it's like you want him to be good because of his natural, advantages. Yeah. But sometimes you don't have it. So he might not be quick enough yet. He might not have enough, like you said, NHL experience. It's a different game. It's a different pace. So it might be one of those things where he's just not there. But Skarek, he's all right.
Skarek, I think he's. I try to keep track of the minor league guys, but I think he played a majority with Bridgeport last year.
So, and it's one of those things that I think you got to go with the guy with the more NHL experience, which is going to be Hogberg. Yeah. And he's not awful. I mean, he's nothing special.
He's a pickup, though.
But he's somebody.
Maybe that's why he was picked up over the summer.
Exactly. It was a weird pickup. Like, why do we need more goaltending depth? I'm thinking, all right, this guy's going to go into AHL because of whatever kind of moves and something they're doing, trying to bolster them. But at the same time, it's like
we got him the same week we got Foudy.
Yeah. So, and Foudy is a sneaky pickup too. I used to be a former first rounder from Columbus, I believe.
He played for Nashville a little bit,
and he's really good. I mean, he hasn't done a lot. I think he's been in the league like 6 seasons, something like that. He hasn't done a whole lot, but the guy, look at guys like Riley, right? Yeah. Riley hasn't done a whole lot in the league. He found his place on the team, and
he's like a playmaker for us.
He undoubtedly made the team better. He became a quarterback on the power play.
It was zone entry, signing him.
Exactly, zone entry. Like there was no doubt in my mind that he was coming back this season. Yeah. No doubt. So a guy like Foudy, now you're kind of in the same situation, different position, obviously different role in the game, but you're looking at this team now. It's like, okay, how many times have the Islanders given the chance to a player that would maybe be a fourth line, third line guy, and then given them third line, some special team minutes or second line minutes? Duclair is an obvious example too. Yeah. Guy second line, third line for a lot of really, really good teams. He's playing with Barzal.
He's in the first line.
This guy is like going to have the opportunity of his life to have a monster season.
He's going to have a lot, especially with Bo and Barzal. That's a good line.
Exactly. Sneaky pickup for anybody looking to do a fantasy draft. Very, very sneaky pickup. But the guy, I mean, like the team that we are the underdog team. So anybody kind of coming in
especially
that hasn't
in the Metro,
exactly. Anybody coming in, this is an opportunity to play more than you've ever played. You know what I mean? If you think about it. And then if you succeed on this team, you can have a genuinely good spot.
Yeah, Riley and McLean were the two big guys last year that stepped up. I didn't really know much Riley. They would say McLean, but yeah, man, like having them re-signed out is great. Yeah. I liked Riley a lot. I think he was like this, like that. I don't know. It was like that little present that we got that we didn't expect.
Yeah.
So and he pairs so well. I think he paired with Mayfield a little bit last year, and he brought his game out. Mayfield struggled a lot, especially in the Stadium Series game. But that's a good pair, and then they do well together. Another guy, too, is Romanov. I know he's in our system, but I think this preseason looks solid.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what he's going to do this season.
He's definitely been the most consistent. I did mention to you that I think that Dobson has made some lax decisions, especially against the Ranger game. The third period breakdown was awful by the entire team. I mean, it's even Barzal said it. He's like, this is no excuse. I know it's preseason, but you can't have a breakdown like that. It was awful. I mean, I was rewatching the game. I never got to see it live. So I'm rewatching this game, and I'm thinking to myself, at what point are we going to start giving up these goals?
Because that's like 4 minutes.
It was less. It was 2.5 minutes left. We still had a lead. It was 2.5 minutes left. It was still 4-2. And I'm like, how the fuck?
They scored 6, and then one was an empty netter, right?
Yeah. I'm like, how the fuck did these guys score 4 goals in the last 2.5 minutes?
It's
what really, the fuck happened? I mean, how do you?
There was one goal, was like 11 seconds between.
It's awful. You can't have that. And I mean, it makes you nervous because the Islanders have had third period breakdowns under Lambert and under Waugh,
and in the playoffs,
and you can't be doing that. And I know Waugh's pushing it. I mean, first day of training camp, everybody heard Barzal was hunched over, taking deep breaths.
I saw on Twitter or whatever X that he was making them do like sprints.
Yeah,
did you see that?
Yeah, I mean, he had a lot of. I heard that it was a lot of physical drills, working the guys hard. They're already tired, and at the end they do suicides.
You gotta do the full 60, man. I mean, we learned that a lot. We lost a lot of overtime games last year. It was like, what was it, 13, 14 overtime losses?
I think it might be more.
It's disgusting.
So, and a lot of them are third period breakdowns. It's like, it's not like we're coming in, we're losing the game, but we're getting that point. Like, no, we had the win in regulation, and then we blew it and then lost in overtime. It's like, it's a different kind of thing. Coming back and stealing that point, wonderful. Giving up a point because you can't hold on to a fucking lead is a gigantic fucking issue. And I mean, I know the points end up being the same, whether you look at it one way, glass half empty, glass half full. But like, it's a missed opportunity that's going to get in your fucking head. And it obviously has gotten in these guys' heads. So I think Waugh, I'm sure he is drilling it into these guys that they got to play hard the whole fucking time. You can't lax at any point in this league.
It almost looks like a power play. Like that Ranger game just looked like a power play for the last like 3-4 minutes.
I mean, I know they pulled their goalie and had an extra skater. But Jesus, I mean, like, come on.
I mean, they also had Zibanejad on the ice. I'm not gonna lie. They had Zibanejad. They had a full.
Zibanejad, their team is a monster team, offensively monster team.
It wasn't like they had like their like minor league guys trying to play. Like, they had like.
Because now it got
on the ice too for that.
Fox and Taruba. So it's like you got a team, right? And we had our top line out there. We have Romanov and Dobson too. That's our. If you think about it, that's our top pairing and our top line. Same kind of deal. And you want to give them minutes. As dangerous as it is, obviously we've seen what happened with Doughty, what happened with Patrick Laine, injuries in the preseason.
I saw the Patrick Laine one. That was bad.
Yeah, I mean, it's awful. And Doughty's going to be out for quite a while, which is I don't know who their top guy is going to be now for defensively because their defense is fucking awful. And their goaltending. At least
they have a goaltending though. Boston's having a meltdown.
Yeah, Boston's having a meltdown. If nobody knows by now, if you're living under a rock, but Jeremy Swayman has not signed with Boston. I know we're talking about a different team when it's an Islanders podcast, but it's a big fucking deal. The fact that Jeremy Swayman has not signed and they already got rid of Ullmark, and Ottawa now has a monster in the goaltending. And yeah, that guy's going to get like 50 plus fucking games, Ullmark in Ottawa. But now they're going to rely on possibly just having backup for his entire life. I don't know if he's ever been a starter really, maybe with Columbus for a little bit when somebody was hurt, but Korpisalo, I mean, unless the guy is going to have an awakening of a career, he's going to be hurting with a team, so, but I mean, Boston has a solid defense. That's the only saving grace. You're going to have a lot of guys jumping in front of the net.
Their offense is pretty nice too, though.
Yeah. So
there we go. Marchand, Pastrnak. It's legit.
I think Marchand's still hurt. I don't know if he's going to start this season. He had like abdominal surgery and a bunch of other shit all at the same time.
Oh, shit. I mean, I gotta get back with Sorokin. I mean, I feel good though with Varley. What do you feel like? I feel good with him starting it.
Varley could run with it. Varley proved last season that he's like
playoffs.
And the playoffs that he can fucking play, and
he's with it.
And Waugh knows that more than anybody that Varley still got it in the tank, and whether he's got it in the tank for one more season doesn't matter. We need him now.
Yeah. And I guess what they're going to put Varley in, or who's going to be the backup. I guess that's why it all makes sense now why they picked him up over the summer. Yeah. But they knew something that we didn't know.
And if Sorokin is out for quite some time, I know they keep saying that he's going to be ready or possibly, they haven't really made it definitive that he's not going to be ready for the start of the season. But in my mind, it's very fitting that you're wearing the DiPietro jersey. We were just mentioning that off camera. DiPietro was talking about how he did it wrong and how Sorokin should probably not do that. And, I don't like fucking DiPietro at all. He's a fucking asshole and whatever, but he's not going to watch this. I mean, if he does, it'd be incredible. But I'm not going to apologize, Rick. I don't like it. But it's not the DiPietro show. So, but I mean, he came and he said, "Don't do what I did. take the time.
He got plagued with injuries.
Exactly. He became plagued with injuries.
Like
He got
2006 to like 2013, it was injury after injury after injury.
Went in the gym, put a lot of muscle on, lost his flexibility, took too much time, didn't take that much time coming back, and he hurt himself, and then he kept hurting himself, and then he never was the same.
That's when we got like Nabokov right after that whole thing.
So it's one of those things. It's like, well, what are we going to do now with Sorokin? This guy is signed for a long time. He's our big money goalie. Exactly the point. He's signed for a long time. Give him a long time to get back to where he needs to be.
Yeah.
The worst thing you want to do is rush this guy, especially with a back injury.
And it's early in the season.
Exactly. And you
time.
have a great goaltender in Varlamov. If Varlamov plays, I'm say out of the next 30 games, say worst case scenario, Sorokin doesn't play the first 30 games, and Varley plays 25 of those 30 games. Do you think he can handle that? Fuck yeah, he can. Yeah. He's still got it. I think he's still got it. There's older goaltenders that are trying to play, 40-something games in a season. You know what I mean? There's tandems. So if Varley plays the majority of that season, then you got Sorokin coming back, eases his way in, and then slowly but surely Sorokin takes the reins again. And that's great. They ended up kind of splitting the season. All good. But don't rush the guy, because if the guy rushes, then he hurts himself. He's got a lot left
in him. Remember this? I think he came to us with the 2020 season or 2021 season.
Yeah, so
he hasn't been with us that long. He was in the KHL for a long time. We have to use him.
Yeah,
we've been waiting a long time for him.
Yeah, so. And he's got a big contract, and the worst thing we want to do is have another DiPietro situation.
I do the buyout then.
Yeah, we don't want that. We don't want that. We don't want the guy sitting there taking up cap space hurt the whole fucking time. No. So,
then it gets mental, and that's when it
gets and that's another thing too, that people were wondering if it was a mental thing, and now that they kind of came out and said it's back surgery, okay, then that's probably why he didn't play so well last season. If he's had a nagging back injury that maybe wasn't to his extreme where he couldn't move,
that's when you start playing scared.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah, like you can't, especially as a goaltender, like you're going to be in awkward positions for 60 minutes. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like you're going to have to try to figure out. Longer than 60 minutes, but you're gonna have to try to figure out what can I do and what can I can't do. How can I still get in that position but not really tweak myself? And sometimes it's just muscle memory. You move and you're like, fuck.
100%. No, I'm excited, man. We have what's today? I don't know what today is.
Today is the 29th.
Right, 29th. So we've got like a week and a half.
Yeah. So
we didn't have to open that. We're playing Utah.
And I'm sure none of you are going to see us, but we will be at that game.
Yeah.
And it's going to be fucking awesome. It's going to be weird seeing the Utah jerseys in my mind.
Ortuzzo's on there now.
I don't miss him. Miss him.
He was a good pickup though.
Yeah, he was fine. He was consistent. Yeah. And that was the thing. Him not coming back didn't hurt me.
We all knew it. That was a 1 year quick one.
Yeah. So it's him getting back on the team compared to Riley getting back on the team are very, very different.
Riley's got fight in him, man. I'm excited.
So, but yeah, so the roster's been trimmed down. Sorokin is kind of, we don't know. And that's the problem with this team. That's the problem with this management. We're never really going to know. And I hope that, you want to keep trades quiet.
I just like how,
that's fine.
Lou just say everything in the dark, and then was like, yeah, back surgery.
Yeah, he had back surgery. I'm sure he got on the phone with Lou afterwards, and Lou's like, dude, what the fuck? He's like, you're not supposed to say anything. But it's like at the same time, it's injuries. It's different. When it's a trade or like contract negotiations, that's fine. Whatever. Because then you don't want to have another team trying to have an advantage on you.
Pretty much the face of the team.
So
besides, you need to know who's going to.
Besides Barzal, he's the face, and for a long time he was just the face. Barzal had a monster season last year that it's like he's kind of like made it his team.
After the 20 and 21 playoff run, like sort of kind of became like that prominent role.
Yeah, I still believe when healthy, he's the best goaltender in the league. I still believe that. And even last season, even though he broke down and Varley had to take the reins, he still faced more shots than anybody. And now you're telling me that's
March, that February to like April was just like brutal.
You know what the sick thing is? That so many people said he was overrated in this whole big thing, and now they're probably exactly, and they're eating their words now, because now you're coming out and you're like especially a lot of Mayfield people, because Mayfield had a fucking injury too, so everyone's like, all right,
he was out for a while. Him and like Pellick, Pellick or Pullak, they were all out.
But like those bad penalties and stuff like that, everyone's like, fuck. Well, why is he taking those penalties? He stopped skating, whatever it was. Now we're understanding this guy's been hurt, so maybe he's not playing his game that he used to play. The
He's
consistent
being
game.
overworked, and then he gets desperate, and then you do a tripping, do a slashing. It's the only way.
So now it makes sense.
Overcompensating because you can't be up to par.
Because you can't do it. So now it makes sense. So it's like you got situations like that where it's like, all right, well now these guys are going to come back healthy. Hopefully Mayfield is fully back to normal, and we got to give Sorokin time to come fully back to normal. But it's crazy to think
we have some good defensive pairings.
We do.
The Romanov, Dobson, the Pelican, Pollock is very good, and Riley can really be interchangeable.
When all these guys are playing healthy,
it's good.
We got a monster team. We got a monster defensive team. But it's crazy to think that Sorokin, even with the off season that he had, his numbers were still better than a majority of goaltenders in this league.
Dude,
it's fucking crazy. Legit, man. And now that you know that he possibly had a back injury the whole time, it's like, what kind of fucking season would that guy have had if he didn't have an injury? I mean, he would have had a monster season again, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, people talking about it possibly being the shit with Ukraine and Russia and all that shit.
Tough last season, man, especially in the beginning because I think it was Pulak, bro. He was out for a while, and that's just started to break down. That's why to get Bortuzzi, to get Riley. I mean, it was like you're fixing lines, you're doing pairings like halfway in the season. It's you're trying to get some type of chemistry. It was tough, like I said, that January to March was just rough.
Yeah.
It was rough, just like loss after loss after loss.
And but Watt really, once he came on midway through the season, we had a monster record under him midway through the season. Yeah, we had third period breakdowns for sure, but we still had a crazy record.
I'm excited. He had a whole off season. We looked good against. Even in the Rangers game, it looked pretty.
We looked dominant. We looked very, very dominant. Especially Barzal. Barzal's back checking, man. Holy shit. He is fucking playing a full 200-foot game.
And like to Kenan, even though he let up those goals or whatever, he's not going to be with us. You know what I mean?
No,
it is what it is. People forget about that. Like he's still a minor league goalie. Like this shit happens. After the first or second goal, it's all mental because it was just shot after shot. It was
I mean, he could be worse. He could be Jake Allen. I mean, Jake Allen looks fucking awful. Jesus. Oh my God. Yeah. I mean, I feel bad because Jake Allen was at a point in his career where he was like a starting goaltender, getting a tandem, and now it's like the guy's just fucking. I know it's preseason, but Jesus Christ, he looks like shit. I mean, I don't know. Thank God that the Devils got Markstrom because they. I was
about to say Markstrom. That was their big. That was their big.
That was their big pickup. They needed Markstrom because they're.
He's a veteran goalie. He's playing majority of the game.
He was great.
So it looks like he's going to be taking all the looks.
Oh yeah.
Because we played him twice in both games. He's coming out and he's starting and he's doing like the whole game. Jesus Christ.
He's a monster. He's a monster. So
I'm guessing he's going to be doing most of the looks this season.
Yeah. I don't even know if has he played any preseason games yet? I don't think Markstrom.
Yeah,
he did.
Yeah, he started them.
Are you sure?
100%.
Because Allen was in.
100%. He had give me 1 second.
Some shit never changes. We have to look things up.
100%. Because his mask had like the devils and shit on it. Give me 1 second.
Oh, Kate, you were the worst. Wow, lots of views.
Yeah. Oh, Kate's talking.
Yeah, on Instagram. Oh, we had one view. Yeah, that's all right. Things happen.
That's it.
Yeah.
Marshall. Allen. Maybe not the last game he played. I know for sure the first game he played against them, he definitely played.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I know we lit up Allen. I know that. And Allen just does not look good. And he did not look good last season. So, but regardless, the Islanders are now going to be displaying the closest thing to their starting lineup for the season.
Yeah, the next game. It's going to be Dufour, probably. Dufour, Barzy, and Horvat. Second line, what do you think?
Duclair, you mean?
Duclair, I'm sorry. Second line, what are you thinking? Nelson, Palmieri, and Zikas.
It could be Soplakov, I think.
I think so, right?
But Soplakov is right? He's a right wing. Or they're going to move him to the left.
Didn't he play left wing?
I thought he's a right wing.
Against the Rangers?
They could probably move him. It's the same thing with Nelson. Nelson can play right. Barzy plays right. There's a lot of different people that play different positions. Yeah. I don't want to see Lee on the second line, but he's still on the team. He's still the captain too, which I was surprised. Are you still surprised he has a C?
I thought it was going to be
Horvat, right?
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be Horvat too. We were saying that towards the end of last season that we thought.
Not upset though,
Yeah. So it is what it is. And then the fourth line and third line are interesting.
What do you think of fourth line?
McLean? I mean, McLean's going to be on there, but we're going to see if we're going to go with speed because Martin still is on a PTO, which I love the guy and I'd love to see him stay,
He's
but
gonna be a fill-in.
It's going to be a fill-in. And that's kind of like the deal with PTOs anyway, so he'll just kind of be there when we need him.
It's a different year, man. No Clutterbuck.
No Clutterbuck. No
Martin's up in the air. That fourth line's gone.
The fourth line is completely
The only
gone.
one that's left really is just Zizekas.
And Zizekas is now on the third, which he's earned it.
Yeah.
He's earned higher, but he's having
first last year.
And he looked good.
Yeah.
He looked really good.
Isn't that crazy, man? No Clutterbuck.
It's weird. No Clutterbuck and no Martin. It's weird. Martin's still there, but like odds are he's not going to play too much.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, we could see, which I would think would be pretty cool, having a Pajot, Holstrom, Gauthier line again
on the third
line. I missed that line.
Yeah,
that's a nice line. And then you could possibly have.
Who do we put in for Gauthier? Like when Gauthier went down to Bridgeport, who did we throw in instead? It wasn't Wallstrom. I'm trying to think.
Fasching.
There you go. I like Fasching, so.
Fasching's okay.
Those are two guys that need to bring it out this year. Fasching and Engvall. Those are two guys that need to step up.
I forgot about fucking Engvall.
Those are two guys that need to step up.
They have to. Jesus.
Right? They're getting a lot of minutes, and Gauthier look great. I mean, like I said, I know it's preseason, but he looks
But
good.
that's what I'm saying. These younger guys are like, if they're showing up, I know it's preseason, like you said, but it's like if they're showing up during training camp, like they should kind of take the spot. At least
and
be able
we
to
want
have
the
a
fourth line to be.
It could be
McLean and Zizekas, unless we're going to put him in the third. But the third you were just said is going to be.
So then, but if you have McLean and Zizekas on the fourth line, who's centering?
Shit.
I mean, Zizekas has played on the wing and it works. So you can put him on the wing. I think he can move up to the second or third line and play on the right, not a center, but play on the right.
And then we'll put JPG
on the third. Centering the third, unless you move JPG to the wing, which I don't really think you should. They both guys. I know, right? We got to get a fucking blackboard. We're gonna have to break this
and
down.
And start just putting shit everywhere.
All right, I'm gonna go on my phone now because I think they did release what the lines are gonna look like.
Stefan
Rosner, yeah.
I did the first line set. Second line, I like Soblakov. I think that's fine.
Soblakov looks good. He's got some grit too.
Yeah, and you could put him and you keep him with Nelson and Palmieri. That's good for the first two lines.
Yeah.
All right, and then this is your third and your fourth. Defensive pairing going to do Dobson, Romanov, Bullock, and Pellick, Riley, and Mayfield.
Oh, look, this is the fucking thing. So right now, the Isles lines, which I'm assuming is going to be for tomorrow, or at least what it looks like in practice, they got Duclair, Horvat, Barzal.
Okay.
Soblakov, Nelson, Palmieri. It's kind of interesting.
You just said that. We're good.
Lee, Pajot, Holstrom.
No.
McLean, Zizekas, Gauthier.
I would call me crazy. Take Lee up the third, either scratch him or put him on the fourth, and put Gauthier in the third.
They're not going to scratch him. He's a fucking captain.
So then put him on the fourth, and then just put Gauthier in the third.
They could solve this problem by making Horvat the captain, and you could scratch Lee. I know he's an expensive scratch, but Jesus fucking Christ. And then for right now, they have for the defensive pairings, you got Romanov, Dobson, Pellick, Pulak, Riley, Mayfield, and then the extra pairing is Chalowski, Hutton. So
Chalowski's good, man.
I think
Chalowski's good.
So I'm thinking that either Bolduc, because Bolduc did
Bolduc played late. Oh, Bolduc played a little bit last year.
Oh, they didn't give reasons. Oh, okay. All right, never mind. Hold on.
What's that?
Foudy, Kallstrom, and Bolduc all skated prior to the team skate. So that doesn't mean that they're not on the team anymore. Meaning they're not making the big team. So they can
have the scratches, though. You know what I mean?
So they're scratches. So what it seems like.
Because like last year,
they were not sent down or waived. Okay.
Yeah. Because last year we had Fasching as a scratch. We had Wallstrom. I think the main guys we sent down was like Gauthier. Gauthier was like the one who was sent down, cleared waivers, and was assigned to Bridgeport for a while.
Okay. Fasching is day-to-day with a lower body injury.
Could be back surgery.
No update. Oh, could be back surgery. No update on Sorokin. Varlamov's not playing tomorrow.
So it's gonna be Hogberg to start.
They didn't make a thing. They got Hogberg and Skarek both practicing.
Scarrick's good, man. I like Scarrick. Isn't it exciting? I get so excited, bro, because like all you do is read about them, see them on Instagram and stuff, and then you get to finally see them play.
Yeah,
it's exciting.
It's gonna be nice.
Scarrick's a big dude too, man.
So I don't really like that fourth line. I don't like having Cizikas and McLean. I think that's a poor usage of both of them. I feel like you got to spread them out.
McLean, I feel like just has to be in that fourth. He's that burst of energy you need there.
And Cizikas has earned more.
But Lee doesn't make sense to be in the fourth. But like, what else are you gonna do with him though?
Yep. I mean,
you're gonna put Goody in the fourth?
No.
But
but right now they have Lee on the third with Holstrom.
I would put Goody in the third.
Why that's what I'm saying. Put Gauthier on the third. Put him on the left.
We gotta go to a practice and watch. Let's see why they're doing these things.
I guess this is what we got to do. All right. Well, these are the updates, which I'm sure you all already know about. But we wanted to get our opinions out there, whether you give a fuck or not. Yeah. So let's see what fucking happens. Game tomorrow,
and then
we got one more game on Friday.
It's the Rangers, and then you're back in it.
And then we're back in it. So
first game against Utah, 10-10.
So we will see if Sorokin comes back. If Sorokin is ready, I don't know what they're gonna do. I don't know what they're gonna do. It makes me nervous. My hands are clammy just thinking about this stuff. Thinking about him coming back and fucking hurting himself. Oh, it makes me sick. Oh, Jesus Christ.
I think he'll be all right.
I think he'll be fine.
You know, we're in a good spot. We got Varlamov. Maybe that's why he's not playing tomorrow.
No, I think that's why they're gonna give him rest.
We're gonna need him.
But be prepared for a monster season from our top line this year.
Barzal's going to have a great season.
Barzal and Horvat.
Duclair's going to shine. He's going to have more looks. He's going to be the first line by his first time in his career. He's going to be a first line guy consistently.
How the fuck is Wahlstrom still getting a chance? If we didn't even get to talk about this.
He made it.
If you don't already know, I absolutely hate Wahlstrom. Yeah. I have no reason to actually hate him other than the fact that I think he's just like shits the bed and has so many chances and whatever. And I know he had injuries years ago or a couple of years ago, but everyone's getting a hard on because they see him take that shot, like an Ovechkin type shot from the fucking circle against the Devils, and it looks like a monster shot. That's great. It was a perfect setup. He was wide open. He made that shot. Great. He has the ability to shoot. We all know that. But Jesus Christ, half the time it's not on net. Half the time he loses it. He looks slow. Yeah, he's not an Ovechkin where he's just going to sit there.
After that 2020 playoff run, everybody had a big hard on.
Yeah,
he died out, man.
Yeah.
He's getting a lot of chances, though. Oh, my God. He had more chances than anybody. Yeah, imagine him. They didn't send him down. They sent Gauthier down. And Gauthier I think he was great. I think he was good.
It made no sense. At the time. So I know that. I know Gauthier is not that old. He's young too. So
6 seasons.
So it's like, come on.
He played like 4 with the Rangers and then did a couple of stops and he's with us.
Yeah,
he's young. He's good.
Yeah, he's good. I like him. So I'd love to see Wahlstrom not on the team ever again.
We'll see what happens.
There's
a lot of time.
We'll see what happens. He doesn't need any more fucking chances. There's some guys I'd rather see. So
yeah, dude, I'm a little upset about Maggio. I thought he was gonna maybe make it, but Cholowski's good. I'm excited for that. It's a new youth. If he makes it, he'll be a scratch. Last year was Bolduc. That was like one of the scratch. McLean. So
we'll see. We'll see who number 13
tomorrow.
And number 7 will be.
Yeah.
Those will be very, very interesting. Like I said, I said Foudy and Bolduc, and you said Gauthier
and Cholowski.
So we'll see what happens. Maybe we'll get a combination.
This is the first year really seeing him play Cholowski. So
yeah, I'm sure it won't be the last time we see Hutton. Hutton will definitely come up, I'm sure, when people are hurt or something like that. So he's Mr. Consistency. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
That is the end of today's show. We will catch you next time, whenever that may be, right? We'll see. And hopefully we won't. I love being next to you, but at the same time, get the fuck away from me.
I know. We're going home.
All right, everybody. That's the end of Sunny Days at the Racetrack. You stay well, and let's go Islanders.